NotebookLM has some huge updates recently, and I mean huge. These are the new free updates from NotebookLM that we're going to run through today. You get access to notebooklm.google, and I'm going to run you through some of the latest updates. So you can now, for example, turn one single document into 6 different things: videos, slide decks, infographics, deep research reports, flashcards, quizzes, etc. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how this works. We're testing it live right now. I'm going to upload one PDF to show you how fast it spits out a video, a pitch deck, infographic, and more. And this is the kind of stuff that used to take a full team: designers, editors, researchers. Now you can do it all with one click. So if we get straight into this, you can see an example of NotebookLM here, and then we can get straight into this. So if you want to get started, you can just start running an example over here, load your sources, you can do deep research. So for example, let's say you've got an interesting example, right? So for me, I want to learn more ways to grow my school community, right? Now, how can I do that? Well, what I can actually do is I can click on deep research, and then I can type in what I want to learn about, right? So for example, like getting more customers on school. And from here, we can start doing deep research automatically with NotebookLM, and it'll actually search many different sources on the web, across the web, to start building with this. All right. If you have any questions as we go along, feel free to ask. Crystal says, love NotebookLM. Absolutely, I do too. And Crystal said, think Julian fell asleep. Man works too hard. And you can see an example here of how we're loading in that deep research. Now, I've actually plugged in a bunch of examples here. Then if we want to generate, for example, like a podcast or a video, if we wanted to generate flashcards, quizzes, infographics, slide decks, data tables, or mind maps, we can do that all right here on the right hand side, right? So it's automatically loading it, which is super powerful, and it's free. It's easy to use, doesn't take long at all, and you can quickly start doing this without much effort at all. All right. Now I'm going to show you a bunch of practical examples in a minute, but you can see how easy this is to get done. So let's keep going through now. Whilst waiting for these to load, I'm going to actually load up a new notebook in the background, as you can see. And we're going to run through some examples to test. All right. So the first one, I'm actually going to create a new notebook here, and I'm going to upload some details about the AI profit boarding. So we'll copy the text. We'll go to the AI profit boarding. I'm actually just going to load the sales page like so. And we're going to plug that into the chat sources. Here we go. All right, we'll insert that information into the sources over here. And now let's create a notebook with the information from the AI profit boarding. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to video overview to generate kind of like a course trailer with AI narration explaining what members will learn. But the difference here is I'm going to switch this to explainer. And we're actually going to change that to brief. We can change the visual style to like the classic. And then I'm just going to say here, create a short trailer teasing my course, right? Plus selling the benefits of it. Or create a short trailer teasing my community. Then we can hit generate. And now actually generate a video overview that's basically like a video sales letter for our community, right? And you see how easy and quick this is to do. All right. Data tables as well. Data tables is another option. And I pulled out, let's see. So Lalif says, I pulled out a Harvard level research from night sources that I can immediately publish. And wow, that's pretty crazy. All right. Dr. David says NotebookLM is really the best AI tool out there, especially since it became integrated into Gemini. Yeah, I would agree. And then Lalif says, shout out from India, Julian. I've been following you since a little more than a month and love all your videos. Appreciate that, man. Greetings to you too. All right. So you can see here how it's beginning to generate the video overview using the information that we've plugged in, which is just a sales page from my community. Right. So that's one example of how you can use this. You can use it to generate like really quick clips, video sales letters, etc. What we could also do, this is interesting too, is we can actually upload like a competitor's sales page and get a video breakdown of their offer structure. Let me show you exactly how that works, right? So if we go on create new over here, we're going to go to copy text. And obviously, I'm not going to take my competitor's page on a live stream, but I will take my own and we can use it as an example, right? So I can take that like so. And then we can go to import, paste the text in there, or what you can do is you can just actually add it as a source, as a website source, right? So you could actually take the website here, paste in the URL like that, hit insert. I don't know if it can import. Oh yeah, it can import Go high level pages, which is pretty good. All right, and now we can say, okay, reverse engineer my competitor's offer, right? And we'll put that in the chat. But before I actually do that, what we're going to do over here is go to the settings. I'm going to go to custom. Sorry. Yeah, we'll go to settings, and then inside custom here, you can actually explain the role, right? So you could say, okay, you are a competitor analyst, analyzing and breaking down my competitors' marketing strategies. All right, we'll save on that, and then we're going to click on reverse engineer my competitor's offer. Basically, you can use this as kind of like a competitor analysis. They can quickly analyze your competitors, find different resources, find different use cases, and then go from there. Mim says, love your videos on X and Facebook. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And Alkeem says, greatness. That's awesome. Thank you. So you see here, for example, it's like, right, based on the intelligence gathered from Goldie's agency's landing page materials, I've reverse engineered their marketing strategy and offer structure. So compared to analysis, I view this as a highly productized SEO model that relies heavily on AI automation, blah, 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 right? And this like explains what it does, the hook and risk reversal, pricing psychology, the fulfillment mechanism, the competitive vulnerabilities, right? And everything else. And so it actually talks about ways that you can make the offer better. And then you can say, okay, now create a sales page with a better offer than my competitors. Write it direct response style. And what I actually do is reverse engineer my competitors, break down their offer, and then from there, actually create like a better sales page that we could use to create something more interesting. And that's constructing the offer, and we're good to go on here. And you can see it's now create a headline, the offer. It's actually used the offer from our competitors, as you can see here, but it's made it slightly more compelling. And then you can see the whole sales page broken down, right? It's so easy to start doing that, right? And so just to recap here, what have we done? Well, we've automated deep research and pulled in a bunch of sources to fix any business problems that we have. We've also loaded in a competitor page into a notebook and then reverse engineered that offer and also created a better sales page than the original one with a better offer based on reverse engineering our competitor's page, right? Super simple and easy. And you can do all of this for free. On top of that, what we've also done is we actually created flashcards, quizzes, an infographic, a podcast, etc. on all the stuff that we loaded into here. Right, so you can actually create like 6 or 8 different automations for free directly inside NotebookLM, as you can see. So if we click on this infographic here, you can see that we've generated an infographic automatically based on the information we loaded into Notebook, right? And so super powerful, really easy to do, and it doesn't take long at all, right? We've literally done that in less than 10 minutes. It's ridiculously easy. All right, so let me talk about the old way versus the new way, right? So for creating videos, the old way was like hire a video editor, wait days, it'd be expensive to hire them, and you go back and forth with revisions. The new way is you upload your document, click a button, and get a video of AI narration in minutes for free using NotebookLM, right? As you can see today, it's generating that video and the slide deck over there. With slide decks, the old way was open PowerPoint, spend hours formatting, hunt for images, try to make it look good, give up and use ugly slides anyway, right? The new way is upload your PDF or notes, NotebookLM builds the deck for you, graphs, diagrams, and visuals included. The old way of infographics. You would like hire a designer on Fiverr, wait 3 to 5 days. It could be expensive. Hope they understand what you want. The new way is like you can upload any content for free into NotebookLM, get a vertical or horizontal infographic instantly, and it's perfect for posting on LinkedIn or Instagram or TikTok, right? You see an example of that infographic over here. Let's pull that up. There you go. Deep research. The old way was like you have 47 browser tabs open, you spend all day reading, you try to remember what you learned, and you forget half of it. The new way is you ask NotebookLM to research the topic, get a full report with over 30 sources synthesized, and then turn that report into slides or a video of one more click. The old way of training your team was like you would write long SOPs, hope your team reads them, they don't, repeat yourself forever. I've been there. The new way is you upload your recipes, generate flashcards and quizzes, and now your team actually learns and you can test them, right? And repurposing content. The old way was like one piece of content equals one use. You know, you write a blog, that's all you get. Everything else takes more work. The new way is you get one piece of content, 6 outputs, videos, slides, infographics, podcasts, flashcards, quizzes, and it's all from one single upload. So you see how game-changing all of this stuff is and how easy it is to implement as well. So let's go back to NotebookLM over here. And we'll start building with this. And the next example I'm going to show you is you could actually upload like 10 of your best performing YouTube videos and generate a video or a slide deck or some information explaining what makes Julian's content work, you know, and just get a breakdown of like what really works for your business, right? What are the best performing piece of content? So let me show you an example of this. We're actually going to go into NotebookLM like so. We'll grab my top performing YouTube videos and we're going to sort by popular, right? So which videos are the most popular and why? You know, what were the best hooks? What was the best content, etc. Right? It's always best to learn from like what worked before. So I'm going to grab that video, we'll plug it in, and we'll grab the next one. All right, and I'm doing this live so I can show you how quick and easy it is to do. Right? It literally only takes 2 minutes to build this. But basically, you can get like a greatest hits machine that automates the best hooks and the best content for your business by figuring out what worked for you previously, right? I'm just going to do the top 5 actually, I think, just to save a bit of time. All right, so we've loaded the top 5 sources, but I would recommend, you know, doing like top 10 minimum, just so you can have enough data, right? Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to settings over here, custom, and we say, okay, you're a content analyzer trained on Julian Goldie's best performing content. See the videos loaded. Give Julian advice on what to do based on his best performing content, e.g. hooks, etc. And we'll say respond as Alex Hormozy. Okay. Hit save like so. And then we're going to go inside here and we'll say, okay, give me 5 hooks for the topic. And we'll just say the topic from today. So for example, this topic. So let's grab that topic over here. We'll go into NotebookLM and we'll say, give me 5 hooks for topic based on what worked before. All right. And so we're basically analyzing our best content, which is on the left-hand side. You can easily do that on YouTube by just going to popular. If you're on, you know, LinkedIn or whatever, you can do the same. And then you can go from there. All right. So this is beginning to plan out. Here's an example, and you can use this to build stuff out, right? Same with this, same with this, right? You can see how easy it is to build this stuff out, how quick and easy it is to use. But for example, like one could be the ultimate course value stack. And could be like today, you're getting my ultimate course on NotebookLM updates. I'm going to show you how to host it, how to automate your research, how to turn one document into a full-blown podcast. This is a complete masterclass, 100% free, and we are starting now, right? Like, that would be a great hook for a video. How do we come up with it? We looked at our best performing content, and then we generated it from that, right? So it's really easy to create this stuff, really easy to automate it. And, you know, this is smart stuff that most people would struggle to create themselves. Now, what we could also do is we could go into the AI Profit Boredom community. So let's do that. And if we go to the community here, by the way, feel free to join if you haven't already. This one of the best, the best AI automation community on the planet, my friends. Not biased at all. But we're going to take all the questions, as you can see right here. We can go into NotebookLM, create a new notebook. We're going to call this one, well, we'll paste in the text first, right? And then we're going to change the title to FAQs for the AI Profit Boredom. All right. And then from here, what we're going to do is we are going to say, over here, slide deck, based on the sources loaded, which are my customers' top FAQs, create an onboarding document for the AI Profit Boredom. To handle their questions before they ask them. Hit generate, and that's going to generate a slide deck based on the most common FAQs inside the AI Profit Boredom community. And then now we've got an onboarding presentation, and when we bring new customers into the community, we can onboard them quickly, we can show them the presentation, and they get all the information and the questions and the answers that they need, right? So these are like real business use cases, and interesting ones that the people have never really seen before. You know, another thing that you could do is you could actually upload like your analytics and then use that to generate infographics. I'll show you what I mean in a second. All right. So let's say, for example, I've got my content here, right? And I'm going to go do lifetime. So we analyze all my views and content by lifetime, right? Now, what we're going to do in a second is actually export that into a CSV or a Google Sheet. All right, so let's export it into a Google Sheet. I'm going to take all the top content from my channel. And we're going to use that in a second to generate an infographic inside NotebookLM charting the journey. So that's loaded all the data here, as you can see. I'm going to put YouTube stats 2025. All right. Then we're going to go to Google Drive here, take that document, and load that as a source inside NotebookLM. Now, using NotebookLM, and if that fails, it's okay. Might be too big. Let me try and load it as a CSV. Can't load it as a CSV. Okay, no problem. Let's copy the text. And we'll just copy a little bit of it just to make it easy. And we'll load that pasted text into the document, as you can see. and then we'll create an infographic. Right? And basically, you can automate an infographic based on your best content, and then get information on, okay, what's working, what's not, how to improve, etc., which content performed the best, and that sort of thing, which is pretty cool. The other thing you could do here is you could actually train your team, right? So for example here, we can take this like so, and we can go into deep research like that. We say, find me the best link building strategies 2025, right? And we can actually generate some deep research on the best link building strategies 2025, generate a massive report, and then create flashcards to train the team members at my SEO agency. So we can quickly generate these reports that we find extremely useful for training our team internally, right? So for example, I've loaded my best like sales SOPs and playbooks into NotebookLM, and then use that as a chatbot to train my team, right? Really powerful and easy. So you can generate like quizzes to test new hires. You could upload client briefs and create flashcards for your team to memorize client details before calls. You could upload your course content and then generate certification quizzes for AI Profit Boarding members, right? All sorts of cool stuff here. And then if you want to see examples of what we've built previously, let me find some examples here. So for example, like this one, you can see on the right-hand side, we've actually, for example, got an infographic. We have videos, with slide decks, etc., podcasts, even content in Chinese. You can actually create content in foreign languages too. And then you see some examples of like featured notebooks here as well. So these are actually like featured notebooks, as you can see, drawn on the latest scientific research and work of classic philosophers to lead a more fulfilling life, right? And then it's actually got like ancient wisdom, all these different podcasts on the right-hand side that have been created using the information inside this notebook. So there's so many use cases for this. It's amazing for learning, for growing, for improving, for learning a skill, for fixing business problems, for creating automations, content, etc. And you can do this all inside NotebookLM. Pretty powerful. And some people say like AI content looks fake and looks cheap, etc. And that was true like 2 years ago, but not anymore. The videos NotebookLM creates look really professional. The slides look clean. The infographics look like something a design agency made. I mean, is it perfect? No, but nothing is perfect. And it's 90% of the way there. And that last 10%, you can always tweak yourself in minutes. So don't let the fear of like AI content looks bad stop you from making any content at all. A lot of people as well will say like my business is different or that sort of thing, and every business owner says this: my business is different, this won't work for me, blah blah blah. Let me ask you something. Do you have documents, PDFs, blog posts, SOPs, client briefs, any kind of written content at all? If yes, NotebookLM works for you. I mean, we use it for our SEO agency all the time. I use it for the AI Profit Boarding. I use it for YouTube content. I mean, members in our community use it for like coaching businesses, consulting, e-com, real estate agencies, etc. Your business is not different. Your business has content, and this tool turns that content into more content. So it's pretty simple and easy. And if you have any questions as we go along, feel free to ask. Rakesh says hello. All right. So you see how to use NotebookLM, how powerful it is. Let me talk about an easy way to quickly generate this using the Goldie 6-in-1 content multiplier framework. All right. So this is my personal system for turning one piece of content into 6 different assets using NotebookLM. And what you'll be able to do after you learn this framework is you'll be able to take any single document and create, for example, video overview. So a short video of AI narration explaining your content, slide decks, aka a professional presentation with graphs and visuals, infographics, a visual summary perfect for social media, deep research reports, a comprehensive analysis with over 30 sources, flashcards, which are quick reference cards for training or studies, and quizzes, an interactive test to check understanding, all from one upload in under 10 minutes. Now, About says, what's the digital avatar? You only make the sound in the video with your voice, or it's all everything AI automatic. So, I mean, a digital avatar, for example, like the videos on my YouTube channel, like this one, these are videos which are automatically created with AI, right? So I don't create them, my team creates them. We have editors who quality control the whole process. But yeah, basically it's all trained. The AI is trained on my voice. The video is created automatically, and then you can also generate content with AI. If you want to learn more about that, we have trainings inside the AI Profit Boarding. All you're going to do is just go to Classroom over here, and then inside the AI Profit Boarding, you're going to go to the playbook. And inside the playbook, you have all of these different strategies on how to use AI avatars like this one right here. Right, this is a full training program with step-by-step tutorial on exactly how to generate these AI avatar videos. So let's get back to this now. So let me show you a 30-day implementation roadmap so that you can start mastering this. Day 1 to 7, foundation week. What you're going to do is get set up and make your first outputs, right? So you could, for example, gather your best content. This could be your most popular blogs, a PDF, notes from your best presentations, company SPs, client case studies, etc. And you can just upload one piece of content to NotebookLM. Don't think it, don't overthink it. Just pick something, generate your first audio overview, the podcast feature, listen to it, and just get a feel for how NotebookLM works, right? So you can generate podcasts like you see on the right-hand side. How do you do that? Well, you just create a new notebook like this, and then you're going to click on audio overview. And that's how you generate podcasts inside NotebookLM. And then just try the video overview, see what it creates like this. So you can click on video overview over here, and then you can use that to generate outputs as well. The other thing to note here is that NotebookLM now saves chat history. So inside your notebook, you can see all the things you've asked the notebook, as you can see inside the chat section here. So you can always reflect and go back on this stuff too, if you want to. All right. Day 8 to 14, this is like expansion time, test all the different outputs, try the slide deck feature, upload a case study report, see what kind of presentation it builds, etc. Try the infographic features. And then day 15 to 21, system week, right? So you're going to build your personal content workflow and that sort of thing. I mean, the other cool thing is, well, when you're building out these systems, for example, like I've loaded my sales playbook inside here. I could actually ask the trainer, okay, what could I improve on this SOP to make it better plus easier to follow, right? And then we can basically create like a better system based on NotebookLM, looking at our existing systems and seeing, right, okay, how can we improve this? What do we need to change here, right? So it's actually prioritizing the best steps, looking at what the best thing to do is here. And it's actually giving us like a clean script document, for example, idea. Or group the golden rules, stop repeating yourself, right? Organized by phase, for example, like the setup, the mindset, the process, the grind, etc. And all these other different things. So it's pretty cool. And then, in the 30-day roadmap for using NotebookLM and mastering it, ramp up production and get faster, right? So you're going to run the system. Each week you create one anchor piece of content. You can multiply it into 6. You can track results, see which outputs get the most engagement, which ones to track the most leads, double down on what works, and also share your wins inside the AI Profit Board. Post your outputs, get feedback, see what other members are creating. And by day 30, you should have a repeatable content system that takes a fraction of what you used to spend. So you can post your progress inside the AI Profit Board here. Just go to the win section, and then you can share your wins just like everyone else is inside the AI Profit Board, like Scott, Michelle, Vladimir, etc. I mean, Vladimir created his own MCP server, which is pretty cool. Telegram hosts and bots being created, all this cool stuff that other members inside the AI Profit Board are building. And then here's a bunch of live build ideas. By the way, if you want the video notes from today, you can get it inside the AI Success Lab, link in the comments description. You see here we have 40,000 members who are serious about using AI automation. So if you want to connect with them, you can join the AI Profit Boardroom inside the classroom here. If you go to December 2025, you can see the free video notes from today, along with the custom build ideas and everything that I'm showing you, right? So let's talk about homework. What would I recommend after this? So after this video, here's what I want you to do. Go to NotebookLM, it's free, you can get it right there. Upload one document you already have, right? That could be a blog post, a PDF, a case study, anything. Generate at least 2 different outputs. So for example, try the video feature, try the slide deck feature, see what happens, and then post your results inside the AI Profit Boardroom community. Show us what you made, get feedback, celebrate your wins, connect with me, right? And you can do that all inside the AI Profit Boardroom right here. And don't just take my word for it, like that this stuff actually works. We actually have over 100 pages of testimonials from real members getting real results with real automations, right? So for example, if we check out the testimonials document of the AI Profit Boardroom, you can see all of these people just getting awesome results with AI, right? So, if you want to learn about this, if you want to grow with this, check out the AI Profit Boardroom because you can see all of these people just winning and learning and growing with it. I mean, it's literally an endless scroll at this point. All right, so just showed you something powerful. Okay, NotebookLM is free. You can turn one document into 6 different pieces of content. But here's the thing: a tool is just a tool. What matters is this system around it, and that's exactly what I'm going to show you inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Right, and right now we have a offer on for the AI Profit Boardroom. So if you sign up now, you get access to coaching, support. You get access to the community, the classroom, the calendar. And we actually have a few spots left on our latest offer, right? Which is, if we scroll down here inside the community, we are offering a few things. So number one, you'll get the exact system for growing a school community. So if you want to build your own school community for your business, which I know a lot of people are interested in right now, we actually have training inside the AI Profit Boardroom showing you exactly how to do that. On top of that, you'll get the AI avatar clone system. So you'll learn how to clone yourself with AI, make video content without being on camera. I mean, one member inside the AI Profit Boardroom actually built a faceless channel that is getting like thousands of subscribers right now. We also have a Twitter AI automation method. So we'll show you how I automate my X account to reach, how many people do we reach per day? Like 170,000 people a day on X, right? So if you want to learn how I automated X with AI, join the AI Profit Boardroom. Top of that, you'll get the Empire Builder Focus Manual, right? So when you actually sign up, you'll see the Start Here section inside the AI Profit Boardroom, as you can see. And inside here, we actually have something called the Focus Protocol, the Julian Goldie Ultimate Focus Manual, right? And inside that manual, we'll basically show you my personal productivity system so that you can avoid overwhelm and get more done in less time. You also learn how to rank number 1 with free access to the SEO Elite Circle and all sorts of stuff. All right. So if you want to get that, link in the comments description to the AI Profit Boardroom, and you can get that directly inside there. Niranjan says, where can we access the document and links? So if you just type in AI Success Lab into Google, I'll tell you what. Yeah, if you go into this live stream on YouTube and then you go to the live, go to the description here, you can get access right here. All right, so click on that link, you can get access to the AI Success Lab. And then inside the classroom, you go to December 2025 and you'll find all the info right here on the video notes, completely free. So today we are going to be talking about Google Gemini and NotebookLM. They have a new integration inside Gemini where you can actually load notebooks from NotebookLM and you can actually use multiple notebooks as you can see. And I'm going to show you some of the most powerful ways to use this feature. All right. So what you can actually do is you can take an example notebook. Let's take an example from NotebookLM. So let's say, for example, I want to learn more about, for example, Google anti-gravity, right? Well, what I can do is take some of the best trainings on anti-gravity inside NotebookLM. So for example, like this, I can copy this video from YouTube, go to NotebookLM, create a custom notebook that's trained on anti-gravity, like so. So let's paste that in. And then inside here, that is now custom trained on this, right? So what I can do inside NotebookLM, inside Gemini, is link these together. So I can pull in that anti-gravity training like so, right? And then I could say, okay, using Canvas, create a beautifully designed landing page. Show me the best ways to use NotebookLM for AI SEO, right? And pulling in that notebook and all the custom training there, I can actually create like SaaS tools, mini apps, etc., using NotebookLM. All right. And if you have any questions as we go along, like feel free to ask. But basically, Google is quietly connected two of their most powerful free AI tools, right? NotebookLM and Gemini now work together as a system. This is a paid feature inside Gemini, but Gemini and NotebookLM are actually free to use, right? And almost nobody is talking about this yet. So here's why it matters to you. NotebookLM is where you store your knowledge, your documents, your SOPs, your client info, your research, up to 300 sources in a single notebook. Gemini is the builder. It makes apps, websites, images, landing pages, interactive tools, and now they can talk to each other. So what does that actually mean? It means you can actually work and build working mini apps, landing pages, client tools, and business systems, all based on your specific data, not generic AI stuff, your stuff. And during this video, we're going to test this live and see what it can really do. So I'm going to show you how to connect your notebooks to Gemini. We'll build real tools in real time, things like quizzes, client portals, content dashboards, etc., all pulling in from your custom knowledge. And this is the kind of update that changes how you run your whole business because you've got less manual work, but more systems designed for doing the heavy lifting for you. All right. So let's get straight into this. You can see we've got the landing page being built over here, and it's coding out directly. And this is based on the custom information on the notebook we quickly created over here, right, for anti-gravity. Now, the old way, let's talk about the old way versus the new way, right? So, for example, for building business tools, you have to use like ChatGPT with zero context about your business, get generic outputs that don't fit, spend hours customizing everything by hand. The new way is that you can load your notebooks into Gemini. It already knows your offers, your voice, and your results. And then the outputs are personalized from the start, right? Like you can see right here, right? So we've created this awesome landing page, based on the notebook that we pulled in, right? So we pulled in this information on NotebookLM, and then we created a beautiful landing page, as you can see right here, right? Pretty cool. It's the same, for example, for creating like sales pages. You know, before you would have to hire a copywriter and wait days, go back and forth on revisions, write it yourself and hope it sounds okay. Now what you can do is that you can actually create landing pages like so, right? So we can go to Canvas here. We can upload a notebook. So let's take, for example, something that's custom trained on me, my business. So for example, let's take this one here, right? The advanced sales operating procedure. We'll take that. This is a playbook for my sales team that teaches them how to do SEO, right? How to sell SEO. And so I'm going to say, okay, based on the attached notebook, create a landing page for my SEO agency services. And then Auspicious says you can run the code preview in Gemini itself. You can if you're using Canvas, right? So make sure that you've selected Canvas, and then from there, yes, you can run the code yourself, right? So you can see how this is taking the information from the notebook and then using it to generate the landing page, as you can see right here. All right, so it's taking the information from the sales SCP and then using that to code out a landing page that we can actually preview, right? And so you can't do this inside NotebookLM. You can't create like mini apps inside NotebookLM, but you can inside Google Gemini. And that's the difference right here. The same for example, like building client tools, right? The old way was, you get a developer and wait weeks, hope they understand what you actually want, spend more time explaining than it would do to take yourself, to do it yourself, describe what you need. Whereas now what you can do is just describe what you need to play in English, watch Gemini build a working app in like 60 seconds, and it's grounded in your actual business data. The final way that I would say this is different is like creating content. Before you'd be staring at a blank page, wondering what to write, trying to remember what worked before, and guessing what your audience wants to hear. Now what you can do is load your best performing content into a notebook, ask Gemini to create new content in the same style, and get outputs that sound like you because they're based on you. So you can see the big differences here. And again, this is, I didn't tell it to create anything for Goldie Agency, but it's actually taken the notebook, reference that, and then use that to build this beautiful landing page, like you can see, based on how our process works, what we do, what's different, etc. It's even created some custom packages, which are pretty cool, and then added some FAQs as well, right? And so we've automated a beautiful looking landing page. I mean, let's get a shareable version of this, and I'll show you what I mean. So we'll grab this landing page, and this is a web page we've just automated in like literally 2 clicks, right? Just by loading in the notebook. And look at that, right? How beautiful is that? And it's all built custom based on our notebook. So it's absolutely awesome how much, what you can do with this. Your only limitation is just understanding, okay, what can you put together? How can you fit this together and how can you implement it into your business? Now, some people say I'm not technical enough for this stuff, but here's what most people think. They see words like AI and apps and systems and the brain goes, that's for coders. That's for technical people, not for me. And that's wrong. The whole point of this update is that you describe what you want in plain English, like you're talking to a person. So for example, you could say, build me a quiz that asks 5 questions and tells people which of my services is right for them. That's it. That's the prompt. No code, no technical skills required, just words. And if you can describe what you want, you can build it, like you can see today. The real skill isn't being technical, it's knowing your business well enough to describe what would help. And you already know that. So you see how powerful this is. Now, let me talk you through the framework that I've set out for you here. All right, so all the video notes from today are inside the AI Success Lab. You can just Google the AI Success Lab if you can't find it. And if you go to the classroom over here, and then you're going to go to December 2025 new automations, right? And inside the new automation section, you can see these notes on NotebookLM. So it shows you exactly what it works, all the limited beliefs, how to avoid it. And I'm actually going to walk you through the Goldie Knowledge Factory framework. So this is a simple framework to think about how this works. I call it the Knowledge Factory. So step number 1 is you gather all your knowledge into notebooks, SOPs, testimonials, case studies, content, research, client data frameworks. Let me show you an example. So if we have a look at, let's go back here. So for example, we've got our playbooks and our SOPs for the sales team inside this notebook. And we just uploaded the document over here, right? If I'm just going to edit that title. Right? If we have a look, for example, this one, this notebook is actually trained on our best performing content. And you can edit the name of the notebook just so it's more organized, which is what I'm doing right now. And we've actually taken the most popular content from our YouTube channel and use that to generate like a best content, a greatest hits content analyzer, as you can see over here, right? So you can see how easy this stuff is. You're going to collect all your knowledge and put it into notebooks. One thing we could also do is we could actually take the testimonials from my website. So let's grab some of these. Let's say this, plug them in here. All right. And then what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go to, do you know what? I want to use Gemini Flash for this because I think it's the fastest. I'm going to just say, take all the testimonials from this page, plus extract them. right? And basically that will take all the information from my website, and it's quite messy. You know, we've got like 56 pages of mess here, and we're just going to take all the testimonials from this page, right? So you can see it's taking all the testimonials, as you can see. So now what we're going to do is, based on those testimonials, I'm going to plug those into NotebookLM, and we're going to create a testimonial collector, right? So that we have a notebook that's custom trained on our best testimonials. I'll explain why in a minute. So we'll insert that, then we're going to change this to testimonial collection, right? And so just to recap here, we have the best performing content, the greatest hits content, NotebookLM. We have the sales SP with the training for our sales team, and with the testimonial collection right here, right? Super simple and easy to do. Now what we're going to do is we're going to load that into NotebookLM. And I'll show you how that works in a minute, but I'm just going to talk you through the rest of the framework. So from here, you create, right? So you tell Gemini what to build. That could be apps, pages, tools, content. It runs from your data. So how do we do that? So if you go back to Gemini over here, we're going to take, for example, some of the notebooks that were built recently. So what we can actually do, this is going to be interesting. So we're going to take the sales SP training document here, add that into Gemini, as you can see, and then we're going to say, build me a client intake quiz based on my sales SP notebook. And then we're going to load qualification criteria, pricing tiers, and service descriptions, and I'll put that into an interactive mini app that scores leads and recommends the right package, right? So we're going to build that now. I just need to change this to Canvas. There we go. Gemini UI is pretty nice, actually. It's so easy to edit that prompt and just fix it. And if you have questions as we go along, like, feel free to ask. You know, and anything you want me to see me build with this, just let me know as well. Or any questions you have, just let me know. And you can see how that's beginning to build out now. All right, so that's beginning to build out the quiz, as you can see, and we're generating that quiz content. You know, the other thing we could do here as well is we can actually generate landing pages. Let me show you exactly how that works, right? So if we open up a new, and you know, you can have multiple tabs running here. So if we go back to Google Gemini, we're going to go to Canvas here, and I'm going to say, okay, generate a sales page for my offer, load the testimonials, notebook plus sales SP with the offer details, and then create a full landing page with real testimonials, real results, and real copy, plus use the offer inside the sales SP, right? And now what we're going to do is add a new notebook here, and we're going to take the sales SP plus the testimonial collection. We're going to enter like so, and now we can load these two notebooks, one of them being my sales training playbook, one of them being my best case studies, and we're going to generate a sales page based on that using the canvas inside Gemini, right? So you can reference multiple different notebooks when you're building with this stuff. Now we also have the growth quiz here. So we've generated a quiz, a client intake quiz based on the information. And then we can plug in, for example, the quiz here. And you see how it's clean and it's nice, the layout and everything. So I'm going to put, for example, I'm a business owner, recovering from a traffic drop, and have I built backlinks before? I'm going to put no, this is new to me. And then it actually recommends the best strategy based on that, right? And from there, you can click on Get Max and actually sign up, right? Really cool little feature that you could use as kind of like a lead generation magnet to funnel traffic. Now, if we go back to Gemini here, we've also got the new page that is taking the testimonials from the testimonial generator, right? So these are all real testimonials from the notebook that has my best testimonials inside it, right? And so I'm using that knowledge and that data to build out an awesome sales page that we can then funnel traffic to, right? And all the content is written pretty nicely. The information is real and everything else. You can see, okay, here's the old way, here's a new way style of content. And then here's what we do, here's why we do it, here's why we trust it, etc. And it's got the information with the testimonials. So it's combined the sales training notebook and the notebook with our testimonials, and then create this beautiful landing page. You know, you could also do something like, if you go back here, we could create like a team knowledge page browser, right? And you could actually load all of your SOPs, training documents, and FAQs across multiple notebooks, import them in here, and then the output would be a searchable like mini app that you can actually query and ask for, right? And so just to recap on the Goldie Knowledge Factory framework, step 1 is collect, step 2 is connect, step 3 is create, step 4 is customize, right? So use the canvas to really customize and edit and refine it, make it perfect, save it as a template, and then compound, right? It's the final step. So really every tool that you build saves you time forever. So you can stack them up and watch your business run smoother, right? And that's it, 5 steps: collect, connect, create, customize, compound. So we've built the lead qualification quiz, as you've seen today, and that funnels traffic to our offers. We could, for example, build out an ROI calculator, again, using similar sort of stuff. So we could go back to Gemini now, go back to that chat that loaded our notebooks, which is this one. And then we could say, okay, now create this. Right, and that will actually create the calculator based on the information we've plugged in. You know, you can also, for example, go into Gemini here. And you could take the guided learning section, and then anything that your team needs to learn about, we can pull in that notebook, right? So if we go inside, for example, the sales recipe, right? And we'll say, help me learn about this, right? And your team can do this. So they can take the notebook that you've created to train them, and you say, help me learn about this. And then it will actually create this sort of learning guide based on that information that we've plugged in here, right? And we can choose, okay, what learning path do you want, right? So for example, let's say the perfect sales call. I'm going to plug that in. And now it's creating that, as you can see here, right? Pretty simple and easy. So it really breaks down like complex stuff. And this is like a 70-page document into really simple and easy to understand methods. So in terms of implementing this, you know, I wanted to give you a 30-day knowledge factory plan. And here's how to put this all into action over the next month. So week 1, you know, audit your knowledge, create your first notebook, and create a second notebook for like SOPs and processes, right? Upload everything about how you work. From there, connection, right? Learn how to link notebooks to Gemini, play around, ask questions, get comfortable, build your first simple tool. It could be a quiz or a calculator, something small just to get a win, and then refine it with Canvas. Make it look good. Save it as a template inside Gemini. Then you're going to start creating and then compounding, right? And the homework, after you've done that, post your progress inside the AI profit boardroom, right? So you go inside the community here, post your wins, post your progress, etc. Give an update like Scott has done here a few hours ago, and just update us on the journey and how it's going. And then, you know, you can really make this into a powerful combo. So you can use like multi-notebook magic. And this is where it gets really powerful. So you can query multiple notebooks all at once. And this means you can ask questions across your entire business. So you could have like a business intelligence app, right? Which loads the sales notebook, marketing notebooks, operation notebooks, asks what's your biggest bottleneck to get more clients, and then gets cross-referenced insights from all your business data, right? You could also load 5 different competitive research notebooks, output an interactive tool to compare any two competitors on any dimension, and then you would learn exactly how to position yourself based on that, right? And now you might be thinking, okay, this sounds good, but does it actually work for real people, you know? And that's a great question. So inside the AI Profit Boarding, we actually have members posting wins like every single day, and I can't make up the results. So I can only point you to the proof, right? So if you check out the win section inside the AI Profit Boarding, you'll see all the wins and how people are getting results with AI. As you can see, these are all wins from actual people, real people inside the AI Profit Boarding. And then also, if you check out this document, we have over 100 pages of testimonials from people like you who are winning with AI, right? So if you want to learn and grow and improve with AI, you can see all of these people winning with it, getting results, getting awesome testimonials and that sort of thing. I mean, for example, Marcus says things like this are what makes the community so valuable, right? Virgil said Julian's one-click NA10 workflow replicator is absolutely insane, right? He said, I just want to say hats off to Julian's one-click NA10 replicator trick. Let's have a look what else we got here. So, for example, Bard Doctor says, thank you, Julian. You're absolutely amazing. We love you and your work, right? And so people are getting results with AI, following the strategies I'm showing every single day. If you want to be part of that, join the AI Profit Boarding, all right? Let's come back to here. All right. So if you want to check out the AI Profit Boarding, let me talk you through exactly what you get. So inside here, you get the community, and this is all a bunch of winners who are getting results, sharing, all helping each other grow and learn and get results with AI, as you can see, right? So it's a very active community, lots of new comments, people posting all the time inside here. So if you want to learn about this stuff, you can. Inside the classroom, we have all of my best trainings. So if you want to learn about AI, how to implement it, etc., it's all inside the classroom here. So for example, like NA10, or for example, lead generation of social media. You got our playbook that I personally use for my whole business. And if you're just learning AI from scratch, you're a complete beginner, etc., then you can learn how to use AI from zero knowledge to becoming an expert in just 6 weeks. All right, we've got a full classroom course on it right there. And then if you need live help, live support, live coaching, you can jump on the coaching calls 4 times per week, as you can see right here, or you can watch back the recordings. Now, on top of that, we're actually giving away a bunch of other extras, as you can see right here. All right. And the thing that I would say here is like, knowing what's possible and actually doing it are two different things. That's why I created the app offer warning. It's not training, it's not just courses, it's a complete system you can plug into your business. And here's all the sort of stuff you get, like pre-built client funnels, AI outreach engines, YouTube avatar kits, done for you client delivery workflows, training on like how to get clients, etc. And also you get access to my school playbook for building and growing communities like I've done on school. You'll get my AI avatar system so you can clone yourself and scale content without being on camera. You'll get my Twitter AI automation methods that shows you how I reach so many people with Twitter. My Empire Builder Focus Manual, which is my personal system for staying productive. And this is all inside the AI Profit Boarding. So feel free to get that. I appreciate you watching as always, and I'll see you on the next one. Today, we're going to be looking at Open Notebook LM, which is a free local Notebook LM AI agent you can basically install and use for free locally on your laptop. So if you never used this before, I'll be guiding you through it and showing you exactly how to use this today. Let me guide you through exactly how it works. You can actually download this for free directly on your laptop, and then you can run it locally on your laptop, right? So I'm going to guide you through exactly how it works, how to use it step by step, and how the whole process works. if you need help installing it, I'll show you exactly how to get started with this as well, because it runs locally, so it is a little bit more difficult to use than using something like NotebookLM. But the good news is here you can run Open Notebook free locally on your laptop, and it's quite easy to set up. So the first thing you're going to need is Docker, right? You want to make sure you have Docker set up, and you get it for free at docker.com. And by the way, if you want all the setup notes from today, feel free to get it inside the AI Success Lab. This is a completely free community with 40,000 members that shows you exactly how to use AI automation. If you go inside the December 2025 section, you get all the notes on Open Notebook LM, right, and how to set it up, right? So what you can do is you can install Docker, and then from here, you can use this as a powerful open source AI-powered note-taking research platform that is great for privacy as well, because you can host it locally. You can also generate podcasts, AI-powered notes, you get privacy control, you get content integration, etc. You can generate audio, that sort of thing, pretty crazy, right? You can install it locally. So let's get on to exactly how to use it. So the first thing I'm going to do, once you've installed it, is you're going to open up Docker. So make sure you have Docker set up, as you can see. And then also the other thing that you want to make sure you have is Ollama, right? Ollama, again, is free as well. So you can download Ollama. And then what you're going to do is go to models and make sure I'm going to be using Gemma 3. Gemma 3 is the model that I'll be using today. All right. From there, you want to make sure you install Ollama, Gemma 3 1B, make sure it's running. All right, so let me show you exactly how to set this up. So you can go into terminal and just pull in Ollama and MXPy, as you can see, right? These are the models that will be running locally on your laptop as you start using this stuff. From there, you want to open up terminal again and then plug these instructions in, right? And then you're going to plug this in. So I'm just going to copy this in, as you can see. And then we're going to run this. All right, and then we should be able to access this via here. If we can't, let me go back to Docker over here and click on play. And there we go. We've got it all up and running, right? So this is Open Notebook running locally on our laptop, and it's running for free inside Ollama. All right, so we've got MXPy selected as the embedding model, and we've got Gemma 3.1 running as the tool model. By the way, if you haven't used Ollama in general, pretty powerful. Let me show you this. So this is an example of Gemma 3.1b running on my laptop. As you can see, I'm just going to say, "Are you working?" You'll see how fast this responds. So you can see how quick it is to reply. It's pretty awesome. You know, if you're flying or something like that, it's pretty cool if you're just running this offline locally. But we're going to have Gemma 3.1 working in the background. And then I'm actually going to delete these models just to show you how they're set up, right? So I'm going to delete that, and I'll delete that, right? Just because I want to show you how to set these bad boys up, right? So we're going to add a model. You're going to select a provider, which is Ollama. How do you get Ollama working with that? You follow the instructions inside the video notes from today. Inside the AI Success Lab, as you can see. And then if you go inside here, we're going to take this information, and now we're just going to plug in the model name, right? Now, all you need to do is pretty simple. Just plug in the model name like that, add model, right? And that's going to add the language model. Then we're going to add the embedding model, right? Which allows you to do semantic search. So how do you do that? You're going to use MXPy embed large. So we're going to add model there. I'm running this locally on a MacBook M3, just so you know. But yeah, you can see us running that now. Now what we're going to do is select Gemma 3 for the chat model and the tools model. It's important that you set these, otherwise this will not work, all right? So make sure that you do actually use this stuff. All right. So if we go here now, we've got MXPy set up as the embedded model, Gemma 3.1 as the transformation chat model and tools model. Then we're going to go on Ask and Search and just test this out. And you can see here, for example, inside the ask section, I've run a question and it's given us an answer down there. All right. So if I say, just to check this is actually working and connected, if I say, okay, what was the score between Man United and Aston Villa? We'll click on ask and we'll just check if it's actually working. And you see, yeah, it's giving us the results. All right. So we're going to go to NotebookLM over here. And then what we're going to do over here is we can plug in our notes and our sources, right? You can actually generate podcasts as well, as you can see. So you can actually generate podcasts, which is pretty crazy. And if we go to Notebook here, we can run this, right? And so what I can do is create a new notebook, enter the notebook name. So let's say, for example, I don't know, let's load in a sales SP for training my team on sales, right? We'll plug that in. And then over here, we're going to add a new source over here, and we can upload a document, right? So if I go to my sales training SP, grab that as a Word document, we'll download it, and we'll upload it now as a file. All right, so we'll upload that file. That's beginning to load. We're good to go on this. All right, so now what we're going to do is click done, and that's going to import this as a source. Now it will take a little bit of time to import that, right? But you can see that's working in the background over here. All right, so we've imported the sales recipe now, and that's processing as a source. All right, we can actually collect all our sources over here. So you can see, for example, I've actually loaded in the website as well. And the way that I did that is I just uploaded my page. So this is my actual website. And then it actually created a whole page right here. And again, like this is very similar to NotebookLM, but it's the open source version, right? And it runs locally and it's more private. That's the difference. So let's talk about the old way versus the new way. Right, the old way was like your documents were spread across Google Drive, Notion, and random folders. You were searching through hundreds of files to find one piece of information. You were uploading, potentially some people are uploading like sensitive data to third-party AI tools, hitting usage limits right when you need the tool most, paying fees for like monthly subscriptions, researching on someone else's server, or starting from scratch every time you work on a new project. With Open Notebook LM, right? You got one place for your documents and research. AI remembers everything that you've uploaded. Your data never leaves your computer. There's no limits on how much you can use it. It is free and open source. It works offline, and you own and control everything, right? So that's the difference. That's why this is different right here. All right, and you can see how it works. And it's available on GitHub as well. So it is open source. So if you have any questions about this as we go along, feel free to ask. But inside this notebook, we can also add the source. So I'm going to add an existing source. We'll take in the information from our website, which is imported over here, add selected. And then now we can chat with the notebook, right? And so you can see here, we can select our model. I'm going to use Gemma 3.1, which is the fastest and easiest. We'll say, okay, tell me the 80/20 about this document. We'll hit enter like so. And then from here, we can start using this. All right, we can also ask and search. So we can actually ask our knowledge base information based on our knowledge base, or we can search across our knowledge base for specific keywords or concepts, right? And we can search for text or vectors as well. Top of that, we can choose podcasts, so we can actually generate podcasts, as you can see. and you can see that's generated the podcast right here. With different personalities. So we've got the voice IDs and the person, etc. over here. And then inside the model section, you can actually use loads of different models. So you could use, for example, OpenAI. You could use Gemini. There's actually a bunch of others. So you could use Anthropic, 11 Labs as well for generating audio. So you could actually generate podcasts with your voice, right? Using 11 Labs and the voice IDs inside there. We could use DeepSeek. We can change and mix around with our models right here. So we can change our text to speech model using the data from 11 Labs. And yeah, you can see how easy this is, right? You can also do transformations. So for example, key insights, dense summary, analyze papers, reflections, simple summaries, etc. You've got the playground over here. And inside here, you just get a bunch of settings that you can change. But again, amazing tool. You can use it locally. It's completely free. You can use free APIs to work with it. So for example, Llama, like we used today, and then you can just build with this stuff, right? And it literally takes a few minutes to set up and start using. So coming back to this, I would use something called the Goldie Local AI Framework. I'm just going to close this so it doesn't slow down my laptop completely. First you can install Llama and pull the models. That takes about 10 minutes, one-time setup. Then you're going to organize your knowledge. So think about what knowledge would be most valuable to have instant access to. Your best content, your recipes, your research. Then from there, you can connect everything. So run the Docker command and connect to the interface. And this is really where the magic happens. Then you can add your sources. So for example, you can upload documents, PDFs, text files, your notes, and build your personal knowledge base. And then finally, you can learn and iterate, right? So you can ask questions. You can see what works. You can refine your system over time. And if you want a 30-day implementation plan for that walks you through exactly how to master this in just 30 days, then feel free to get that inside the AI Success Lab. And you've seen exactly what we can do and how we can do this, all right? So homework, watch the video replay from this, install Llama on your computer, pull the Gemma 3 model in, make a list of the top 10 documents you'd want in your knowledge base, and post your progress inside the AI Profit Boarding community. All right, link in the comments description to this. And inside the community here, you can post your progress, share your wins, ask questions, get help, get support, get advice. There's actually unlimited tech support in there, so you can get help whenever you need to. You can also jump on the coaching calls if you ever get stuck. And inside the classroom, you get access to all my best trainings, SOPs, templates, workflows, etc. Now, if you sign up, you also get all of this stuff as well. So we have a deal on right now. So you'll get, for example, my AI avatar system to clone yourself and scale content without being on camera. You've got, for example, my Twitter automation systems that show you how to reach millions of people per month using Twitter based on what works for me. My Empire Builder Focus Manual, free SEO boardroom access, the digital nomad blueprint, so how I built a business whilst traveling the world, and also my systems for building school communities as well. So you can get that all inside the AI Profit Boardroom, along with my pre-built client funnels, AI outreach engines, YouTube faceless avatar systems, done for you client delivery workflows, and ways to get clients, right? Trainings on how to get clients. So feel free to get that link in the comments and the description to the AI Profit Boardroom. Hope to see you inside there. Plus, you can DM me and get help whenever you need it. Right now, we're about to test something that just dropped from Google. It's called anti-gravity, and here's why you need to pay attention. So this is a free tool that builds real apps, real tools, real systems just by typing what you want in plain English. No code, no developers, no technical skills needed. And I'm going to test this live with you today. We're going to see exactly how it works. Does it actually deliver? Can someone with zero coding knowledge really build business tools in minutes? And here's what we're going to do together. All right, all of this using just words, no code. And if this works the way Google says it does, this changes everything for entrepreneurs who want to automate their business before they needed to hire developers first. So let's test exactly how to use it. You can download it for free right here. And then once you've done that, you're going to see something that looks like this, right? So this is anti-gravity, as you can see. And from here, we can start building with this, right? So if you've never used this before, basically you've got your files on the left-hand side, and then over on the right-hand side, you can chat with the AI, right? I'm going to be using Gemini Flash because that's the fastest one. We can switch between planning and fast, but I'm just going to go straight with fast because I'm coding with you in real time. And then for here, we can start building this out. Now, if you've never used this before, let me show you some examples of what you can actually build with this, right? So if we take this prompt, and all these are inside the AI Success Lab, link in the comments description if you want to get the video notes from today. I'm going to say build an invoice generator with PDF export, right? Simple as that. A very simple command, but basically we can build a custom app, a mini app, using this process. So now you can see it's beginning to code out, and it's pretty simple and easy to use this. All right. So it's running the terminal command. And again, this is free. This is hosting locally. That's one of the other big benefits here is you're coding locally. So number one, you can store files and you can build bigger projects offline using this. And number two, you can use it for free. And number three, it's more private than creating that content online because you're hosting it locally. The only thing you got to remember is that you're using Google's APIs, which means that that's still like on someone else's server, right? It's not on yours. You're not using no llama or something like that locally to build this. So now it's beginning to code this out, as you can see, creating the directory structure, and we can come back to that in a minute. We can actually code out in multiple windows here. We can use this for free up to certain limits. And you can see here that I can actually build a project without limits, without hitting the limits, as you can see inside the chat here. So it's beginning to code this out. It's creating the JSON here. And I don't code. I don't understand code. I can't use HTML, but I can quickly build out the tools that I want just by typing in exactly what I want, as you can see here. So all we said was build an invoice generator with PDF system. All right. So it's beginning to code that out. Now, let me talk to you about why this matters. All right. So, the old way of building business tools is that you would have an idea for a tool that would save you time. You search for existing apps so nothing fits perfectly. You try to learn coding, but pretty much give up after a week. You hire a developer and wait weeks for delivery. The tool doesn't work how you imagined. You go back and forth with the revisions. You end up doing everything manually anyway, and you feel a bit stuck and frustrated. That was the old way, right? Now the new way, if you're building with anti-gravity, is like you have an idea for a tool, you describe it in plain English, anti-gravity builds it whilst you watch, you test it immediately, you tweak it by just saying what you want to change, you have a working tool in minutes, you move on to the next thing, and you feel like you have superpowers, right? That's exactly how this works step by step. And so, as you can see here, it's beginning to build this bad boy out, and we're just going to wait for the coding to finish. It should only take a few minutes. It seems to be working already. So you see here, it's actually hosted on a local network URL. And let's see if we can pull this up actually. Yeah, so this is opening up the agentic browser, but I can actually preview it on the local host over here. All right, so that's a URL to see it, and then you can see we've got a working tool. Boom. We can actually see the AI testing the tool in real time and moving around, right? I'm not touching this. I'm not, touching anything on the screen. The AI is actually looking at the screen, typing in on the left-hand side, beginning to click buttons on my screen, and then creating this tool and testing it out so that it can improve the tool without me even looking at it, right? And the cool thing about this is it can basically prototype a tool, self-iterate, self-improve, and then once it's finally ready, it will give me the details to check out. But in the meantime, it's just going to check out if it actually works or not. And you can see it's adding values on the left-hand side, and then it's actually building this out on the right-hand side, and the numbers are updating in real time. And then it's got the download PDF feature over here, right? Really cool. It's taking screenshots, testing this out. We can actually change the from and the to information. This is finished now, and you can see that's finished on the preview with the agent because it doesn't have the blue lines around the edges anymore. If we go back to anti-gravity now, we can see that it's been tested and it's working perfectly. Beautiful, right? And then if you want to host this online, you just take the project files, which you can see here. So you can go to Reveal and Finder and grab the folder documents, right? Like that. And then you can host that on Netlify and basically use that as a tool that's hosting online and running online, right? Pretty amazing. The only thing that I would say there's a problem with this, and I could easily just change this, is that when we download the document, the PDF, it downloads the document, but it doesn't save it as a PDF, right? So that's just something to be aware of. But everything else is working perfectly, and it's pretty amazing what you can do with this. Now, I'm going to show you some more examples in a minute. But some people are going to say, I need to know how to code to build tools. And the old story was like building apps required programming skills, years of learning, computer science degrees, technical knowledge that takes forever to get. Here's the truth. You already know how to describe what you want. That's all you need now. Think about it this way. When you order food at a restaurant, do you need to know how to cook? No. You describe what you want. The kitchen makes it. Anti-gravity is the kitchen. You are the customer. You don't need to know how the code works. You just need to know what you want it to do. And the new belief is if you can describe a tool in plain English, you can build it. Easy as that. So just pick one simple tool you wish existed for your business, write down what it would do in like 3 sentences, boom, that's your first build. All right, let's try something else out now. So I'm going to say, okay, build out a Pomodoro timer with a task list, right? So we're going to take this prompt over here. Again, notes inside the AI Success Lab if you want to test this stuff out and learn from it. And then we're going to click on that and use this to build out a new tool, right? We can build it in the same project if we want to. It's not a big deal. Obviously, it's going to overwrite the old files, but I'm not planning to use the old files anyway. And then we're going to build this out, as you can see. All right, so that's beginning to create this document, analyze it, and start generating the outputs. Now, in the meantime, let's run through some more limiting beliefs that people struggle with. So some people say like building custom tools takes weeks or months. And the old story was custom software is a huge project, right? Planning, development, testing, revisions. It takes forever and, it can get expensive. Here's the truth. I've built working tools in less time than it takes to make a coffee, as you've seen today. And the reason building used to take so long wasn't because the work itself was hard. It was because humans had to translate your ideas into code line by line. Now AI does the translation instantly. The new belief that you should have is what used to take weeks now takes minutes. Speed is no longer the bottleneck. And your next step is really just time yourself. Describe a tool and see how fast it appears, because you will be shocked. And you can see that's beginning to generate now. We've got the output over here. You can see with the blue line around the edges, this is beginning to test the tool. It's a nice little Pomodoro task, right? So we're going to plug in the task. Well, the AI agent is going to plug in the task for me whilst I talk to you. And then it should start the timer in a second as well, right? So it's plugged in the task, which is finished report. We'll return to the agent. And now it started the timer, right? So the output worked perfectly first time around. The UI is nice and clean. We can actually switch between like short break, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then we can accept all the changes, right? I'm going to confirm that. And then I'm going to stop the agent, and you can see how we can just test this directly here, right? We can actually we can grab the URL over here as well. We can go back to our main window and start testing this out, as you can see. So it works perfectly. We can refresh it. We've got a task that we can type in. So for example, let's put live stream here, add that as a task. And that works beautifully, right? And we've now built a custom-made Pomodoro timer that works perfectly first time round for free, locally, whilst I've been talking to you and just, jamming on the stuff that you can do with this, right? So it's amazing what you can build with this. And it really isn't technical at all. Some people say like free tools can't be that good. And the old story was like good things are expensive. And if it's free, there must be a catch. It probably doesn't work well, for example. But as you've seen today, it does work well. And here's the truth. Google gives away powerful tools because they want you in their ecosystem. Gmail is free. Google Docs is free. Google Search is free. And these are like the best tools in the world. Anti-gravity follows the same pattern. Google isn't being generous. They're being strategic. They want you building with their AI, That benefits them. It also benefits you a lot. The best AI tools are often free because big companies want you using them. So stop paying for expensive subscriptions before you test free alternatives. That's the next step. You might be surprised what's already available. Feel free to ask any questions as we go along, by the way. But you can see how powerful this is. So let's talk about the anti-gravity action framework, 30 days to building your business tool stack. Week 1 is the foundation. Day 1 to 2, I would just focus with your first build. Start simple. You could build a Pomodoro timer with task tracking like I've done today. This just teaches you the basics, describing what you want, testing results, making tweaks. And you'll have a working productivity tool and you'll understand how anti-gravity thinks. So, you get 2 birds in 1 stone. Day 3 to 4, your second build, right? Build a daily time blocking planner. So now you're getting comfortable. You know how to describe things. You're seeing patterns in what works. And then day to 5 to 7, build your first business tool. This could be something you actually need for your business. It could be an invoice generator. It might be a client intake form. It might be a content calendar. Just pick something that you do manually and automate it, right? And then once you build something with this, post it inside the AI Profit Boardroom, inside the win section, and just share what you're building with us, right? I really want to see what people are building, how we're learning. You can see all the cool stuff inside the AI Profit Boardroom community and what people are building. It's amazing. So, for example, like Robert Lawrence, he said the automation light went off in my head. I joined this group, and he realized I can automate my entire content creation workflow, right? And he said he's a full-time truck driver, doesn't have much time, but he's learned to automate one workflow that will help working whilst he's creating everything else. So it can just save so much time when you figure out, okay, here's what I need to do next. Let's try something else now. So I'm going to take this one, as you can see, and we're going to create a time tracking planner. We'll plug that into anti-gravity and start building this tool as well. So that's beginning to build out. Whilst waiting for that, let's talk through some tools that you could build. You could build the prompt library manager. So this could be a place to save, organize, and find all your best prompts. The invoice generator, as I've shown you today. The content repurposing machine, so you could turn one piece into a blog post, a Twitter thread, copy each version, and that would save a lot of time, right? You could easily build that with anti-gravity. The daily time blocking planner, so you could plan your day visually, drag to create time blocks, which we're actually building right now with anti-gravity, as you can see. And then we've also got the offer builder as well, right? And so there's so much stuff you can build with this. And if you want to see what's possible, inside the AI Profit Boardroom, members are getting results like this, right? So if we pull this up, this is 106 pages of happy clients from the AI Profit Boardroom. So for example here, Andrew said that he built his first AI avatar and created a video. They'll go live on LinkedIn on Tuesday, right? Pretty amazing. You can see the time blocker is now being tested by the AI, right? So it's actually just opened that up and just started testing it. As you can see, we've got the blue background around the sides. It's taking screenshots, testing things out. And it's beginning to block things out for like deep work, gym, lunch, color coding it, and just planning out the day. Pretty amazing. So you can see the AI agent is really just testing this actually works before it goes ahead and builds anything. Let's open up another random page here, see what we got. So Eric coded his first iOS app with AI, and he said, I've got to give a huge shout out to Julian for the AI Profit Boardroom. The community there has helped me so much along the way. Right? Let's see what else we got here. So Marcus says, here's why I'm impressed with the AI Profit Boardroom. Julian's actually present, responding to questions, showing up, etc. Just going to X off that. But you can see now we've got the planner here. I'm just going to stop this AI agent because it's getting a bit out of control. But you can see how to use anti-gravity, all the tools that were built today. So for example, the invoice generator, the Pomodoro timer, and the Time Block Pro, right? Which actually works kind of like a calendar app. So it is amazing what you can do with this stuff, how powerful it is, how easy it is to build with this, and how it works, all right? Now, your homework. I would pick one tool that would help your business the most. Describe what you want it to do in 3 simple sentences. Build it using anti-gravity. Post your results inside the AI Profit Boardroom. And yeah, that's basically how you can get it. Now, if you join the AI Profit Boardroom today, you're also going to access to the classroom, right? With all of these different trainings, as you can see. You'll get access to the community where you can post in here and get help and support and advice and meet loads of cool people and, share friends and everything else. And then also inside the calendar, you have coaching calls where you can jump on the coaching calls live with a PhD trained professor on AI, Dr. Jeff, and then ask any questions you want and get help and support in real time on those live coaching calls. Okay. So you do that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. And then also, if you sign up today, you also get access to our school training, the AI avatar clone system where you can clone yourself and create AI video content like me. You'll learn how to automate your Twitter so you can reach more customers like I do and generate more leads. You'll get the Empire Focus Manual, which is my personal system for staying insanely productive and avoiding overwhelm. You also get access to the free SEO boardroom and also the digital nomad blueprint as well, right? You get all of this inside the AI Profit Boardroom when you join today. So link in the comments and description for that. You can also DM me inside there and get help and support. It's the only place I personally connect with people, and you get that directly inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments and description. So today we are going to be looking at GLM 4.7, which is a new free AI super agent from China, which claims to beat the benchmarks when it comes to coding and all sorts of benchmarks, right? So you can see GLM 4.7, this literally just came out. It's a brand new AI agent, and you can see how it performs versus GLM 4.6, DeepSeek, Claude Sonnet, and GPT 5.1. Now, additionally, you can actually see how it performs versus Gemini 3 Pro. So these are the benchmarks, and we can test how it performs side by side today in a bunch of tests, as you can see, which we'll come on to later. So we've got, for example, like Kimi K2, DeepSeek, Gemini Pro, Claude Sonnet as well, and it's actually right up there. Now, the amazing thing about GLM 4.7 is that you can actually use it for free. Right? So if you want to get access to this, you can get access at chat.z.ai, as you can see, and then just make sure that you have GLM 4.7 selected here. And I'm going to be comparing it against Gemini, which is their latest model, and just seeing which one actually creates the best outputs, right? Which one creates the better, which one performs the best, etc. And we'll test it out with a bunch of prompts today. So here's the first coding battle that we're going to test it with, which is build a 3D voxel art scene in a single HTML file. We'll test it on Google Gemini Pro. Just make sure you have Canvas selected. And then we'll also do the same thing inside GLM 4.7. You can upload files as well inside there, and you can use the search feature if you want to search as well. So it's beginning to build that out. As you can see, again, I'm not on the paid subscription or anything like this. I'm using it for free, and we'll compare it against Gemini 3.0 Pro. If you have any questions about this as we go along, feel free to ask. But I mean, China has dropped something really big here. I mean, this is a brand new model, GLM 4.7, that claims to be many other AIs in many of these tests, right? And today I'm going to show you exactly how this new Chinese AI actually works, what vibe coding means, the actual benchmark numbers, which I've already been through, and whether this could change how you bid things for your business. So we've got Z coding out right here. It does look very similar to Gemini 3, to be fair, like almost identical, as you can see. Very, very similar right there. We do have the output from Gemini 3 Pro built out much faster than GLM 4.7, and we'll see how it performs. We can actually do the same thing on Claude as well, so I'm interested to see how this performs with Claude. Let's go over here. We'll select Opus, and we'll test this out as well, using exactly the same prompt. And now we have all three models coding out. And this is already the output from Gemini 3.0 Pro. Pretty nice. I mean, that works perfectly, doesn't it? We can zoom in, zoom out, etc. Opus beginning to code that out. Z is beginning to code that out as well. So here is the output from GLM 4.7. As you can see, it looks pretty cool, to be fair. I do like the way you can zoom in and zoom out. However, it's not as 3D as the one from Gemini. I think the one from Gemini, I don't know, this is more kind of like a Minecraft style one, right? I would say this looks more like voxel art than this one, to be fair. But they're both pretty cool. They both actually worked. Let's have a look at Claude Opus. So that's still building out, as you can see. We can actually reinitialize this as well and go through it like so. All right, so we've got the outputs from Claude Opus. Yeah, I would say GLM doesn't perform quite as well. I think the Opus and Gemini are still outperforming it. Although, yeah, I mean, I would say that's probably the best output so far. This one was pretty cool and a bit cleaner. And then GLM 4.7 didn't create anything anywhere near as good. So let's test the next thing now. We're going to say build a landing page for the Air Profit boardroom. All right, from this description. So let's go inside GLM 4.7 and we'll plug in the information about it. Do the same inside Gemini. And the same inside Opus. And just see which one performs the best. Kurkurt says, good job. Thank you very much, sir. Happy to help. If anyone has questions, feel free to ask. Like, it's always more interesting when people ask questions and get involved on the live stream. So if you want to see anything today, just let me know inside the comments. Always happy to help. So this is coding out now. We have Gemini coding out and also Opus as well. I mean, the other cool thing about this is like whatever you're using, right? What's pretty awesome about this is like the old ways, you used to ask AI for code, get broken mess, spend hours fixing it, give up, pay expensive developers, wait weeks, get something you can't change yourself, or use 10 different AI tools, get confused and chase every new thing and then never master anything. Or the old way was like watch tutorial after tutorial and still can't build what you need, right? Or think that you need to learn coding, feel overwhelmed and stay stuck. Those were the old ways. The new way is like you can describe what you want in plain English. AI builds it with beautiful design, like you've seen today. You can use one powerful tool that thinks through problems step by step. You can access the open source models for free, with no monthly fees. And you can build landing pages, apps, and tools that actually look professional. And you can vibe code your way to working products without writing a single line of code yourself. So you see these are building out. Look at that. That's pretty nice. That's going to be hard to beat. Gemini's output is nice. I'm not going to lie. Not going to lie. Let's have a look at Claude Opus. I actually really liked Claude Opus when it first came out. For building, it was pretty awesome. Now we've got the HTML from GLM 4.7 being built out here. What's actually crazy about this is if you have a look at the benchmarks here, right? GLM 4.7 for AMI Maths is scoring 95.7, right? Whereas Gemini 3.0 Pro is scoring 95. So on the AMI test, this free Chinese model that's open source, GLM 4.7, is actually winning, right? Pretty amazing right there. And so, you know, some people say these Chinese AI models can't compete with American ones. And this is what surprised me the most. If you look at the actual numbers from the official benchmark tests, like we just did, you know, GLM 4.7, 95.7%. Gemini 3.0 Pro, 95%. Claude Sonnet 4.5, 87%, right? So let's have a look at Sonnet, 87% over there, right? And so GLM 4.7 beat them both. Let's have a look at HMMT. So if you have a look here, HMMT, on the benchmarks, GLM 4.7 scored 93.5, whereas Gemini 3.0 Pro scored 93.3, and Claude Sonnet scored 81.7, right? So on the maths tests, GLM 4.7 is winning. Now, to be fair, Gemini still wins on the other tests, but the idea that Chinese AI can't compete, well, that belief is gone, right? And the right belief is that competition is good because more options means better tools for all of us, right? So let's go back to GLM 4.7 now. This is the page. It looks super nice. We can actually share that with people as well. So we click on the share button here. We'll copy the link. And let's go over to GLM 4.7 here. See what it's like. Pretty nice landing page, right? I could actually use that. It's written nicely. It looks pretty cool. It's got some nice designs. It's super clean. It is a little bit basic, to be honest. But that's the only thing that I would improve here. I mean, everything else looks pretty cool. If you have a look at Gemini's output, I would say that still looks better. Still looks a lot nicer. And if you have a look at Opus, pretty similar to pretty similar to Gemini 3.0 Pro, but I still think Gemini 3.0 Pro will probably convert better, just based on my feel. I can usually tell just by looking at the page which one I think is the nicest, and I think this is definitely the nicest. So far. So let's try another example here. I do think that Gemini's won on both tests so far. Let's try one more. So we're going to say generate a working Tetris game in one HTML file. Run this through Gemini as well as GLM, and we'll test it on Opus too. So I think Opus and Gemini are still leading when it comes to coding. But, you know, if you want a free alternative, then GLM 4.7 is pretty good, I think. That's actually replying in Chinese. Why is it replying in Chinese? I don't know. But, I mean, I've actually prompted in English, but it's come back in Chinese. But okay, we'll wait for that to code out. We've got Gemini here coding out too, and Opus too. And we'll see what we get back in a second. Now, let's have a look at the testing framework here. This is a framework that I've used today to test GLM 4.7 against Gemini and Opus, right? It's the same method you can use to evaluate any AI tool. I call it the VIBE method, right? Which is Visual Intelligence Building Engine. So verify the claims. Like, don't believe the hype, don't believe the hate. Just test it yourself with real prompts, like you've seen today. Then you're going to investigate practical uses. So forget the benchmarks for a minute. Like, can it help your business? That's the main thing, right? So could it build landing pages? Yes. Can it code out tools? Yes. All right. And then build something real, not a toy, not a demo, something you'd actually use, like the landing page for the AI profit boardroom that you've seen today, right? And then from there, just evaluate the output. Does it look professional? Does it work? Could you show it to a customer, right? That's what you want to test today. And we've tested a bunch of things that look really cool. If you want a full 30-day learning path, I've got it inside the notes from today. That's inside the AI Success Lab, link in the comments description, completely free community with 40,100 members. And inside the classroom here, you can learn exactly how to use this stuff, right? So if you go to December 2025 notes, you can see all the latest updates, and you've got the notes on GLM 4.7 over here. So we've got Neon Tetris. That's actually not showing anything, so that's totally failed on this move. Gemini is working perfectly, I think. Oh. No, it's not. Look at that. It's just disappearing. You can't. It's just dropping down the bottom. All right. Let's have a look at Opus. See if hopefully this works, but you never know. Oh, this is pretty cool. There we go. I think Opus has won this one by a long way. So, I mean, you've seen the results today. Like, would I say GLM is going to replace Gemini or any of the other tools right now? Absolutely not, right? Like, it's cool and it works, but I think Opus and Gemini is still superior. Even if you're on the free plans for them, you're still going to get a lot more value out of them, right? And you can see this working prototype that works perfectly, whereas GLM 4.7 just totally failed on this. All right. So, thanks very much for watching. If you want to get access to all my best prompts, tips, workflows, tutorials, processes, etc., feel free to get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments description. It's an amazing community where I personally connect with all the members. We've got 1,800 builders inside there who are serious about using AI for their business. You can see inside the community here, you can post questions, get help, get support, comment on other people's, lurk in the shadows if you need to, and you can just connect with loads of cool people. You can also get this map where, you know, if you're in a local area in the world, you know, let's say you're in some random place like Chile, right? Well, you can actually meet people in your local area just by going on the map and finding out who's in your local area, as you can see, right? So, for example, let's say you are in the UK, right? Well, in the UK, you can see all these members that are all over the UK, and then you can DM them and say, hey, you want to meet up? Like, should we get to know each other? Or you can just jump on a Zoom call with them online, like you see here. So Matt is based in Manchester. We've got someone in Altrincham as well, so Stefan, right? And so you can meet people on the map here, and it's still private because the radius is like 10 miles, so you don't really know where people are, but you know they're within the local area. And then you can DM them, jump on a Zoom call, maybe meet up in real life, and it's super easy to connect with people, right? Also, inside the classroom, you get all of my best automation. So if you've never used AI before, you don't know where to start, just follow the 6-week roadmap here that takes you from a complete beginner to building your first AI agent in under 5 minutes to learning and mastering AI. Also inside the classroom here, you'll get access to my latest SAP updates, which are dated, so you know exactly which ones came out recently. And you'll get all my best playbooks for implementing this stuff inside your business. So for example, if you want to know how to automate your emails, or automate Twitter, automate newsletters, or shorts, or avatar videos, then you can get all of these trainings inside the AI Profit Boardroom as well. All right. And if you need even more help, you can jump on live coaching calls with Dr. Jeff, who's a specialist, a trained PhD master in AI. And you can jump on the calls with him, live coaching calls, get help, get support in real time, plus meet the whole community inside there. Top of that, we have a full agency course that shows you how to get more clients for your agency. Or if you want to watch the coaching call recordings, you can watch them back here. If you want to get my best automations on AI SEO, you can get them here. YouTube AI roadmap. This is a full 6-week roadmap that shows you how I grew my YouTube channel. And yeah, just all my best trainings are inside the classroom here. So feel free to get that link in the comments description. Appreciate you all watching, and I will see you on the next one. Cheers. Bye bye, everyone.